Okay, YouTube. So this is going to be a first. My name is Katie. You have heard my voice several times while talking about my fry, but you've never seen me. Excuse the hair and craziness. So I wanted to touch on a slightly different subject. Yesterday I went to Petco with my mother and we were looking for plants and a couple of other items for our fish tanks to make them better homes. And like I always get sucked into doing, we went and looked at the bettas. And I was looking at the betta fry that they have for sale, the baby boys and baby girls, and noticed that one of the male fry was struggling to breathe. Very underweight. His stomach was empty, and there was a adult-sized betta pellet in his bowl that he very obviously could not eat. Excuse the interruption. So after seeing the betta fry that was failing pretty horribly, I took him up and let the employees know that it was pretty obvious that he needed live food, that he was in very bad shape, and that the pellet in his bowl was too big for him to be able to eat. At which point I was told that the gal working in the aquatic section that morning would be in soon and that she could deal with it. So I waited a little bit and I told my mom what I was told. And when she came in, I overheard the employees talking about how they just put him in the back and see if he made it. So their protocol for seeing whether or not they could fix what was going on with this very sick betta was to leave him in his bowl, stick him in the back, and see if he died or not. I was upset. So my mom had decided that she really, really, really wanted this bumblebee male and that we should take the baby home and I should see if I could save him. So I brought him home. I got him an isolation bowl and I put him in fresh, warm water through a drip method where I took a lot of his water out so he could reach the surface easier. And I added a few drops at a time of clean water and siphoned some of his water out and did this over the course of multiple hours. So this was at like 9 o'clock in the morning when they first opened. And by 7, I would say he was in new water. I also gave him brine shrimp. I reduced his water level and kept him warm to try and help him, but his gills were fire engine red and one wouldn't close. He had pretty severe ammonia burns in his gills from being in disgusting water. He was starved and in too much pain to eat. So by 9 o'clock last night, he passed away. I had him for 12 hours, did everything I could have done to try and help him. I had air going in at a very slow rate so it didn't push him around. I gave him live food, clean water. He was, if I'd gotten him the day before, maybe. So I brought him back this morning, and I also brought 5 of my fry. Now you guys have all seen Gypsy and Mira's fry, and they're a good size. They're about 1/2 inch long from nose to tail. And they're very well developed and healthy and happy, and they've got beautiful colors, and, you know, they're good looking fish. I brought them in, 5 of them, and I showed the employees there. These are my fry. They are 3 weeks old and barely smaller than this fry. So this fry is obviously between 5 and 6 weeks old. It is not old enough to eat a pellet. It is not big enough to be able to bite a large pellet. It's not even a micro pellet. It was a large pellet. And I told them, I was like, I don't know if you guys are aware, but Betta's instincts are, if it wiggles, eat it. If it doesn't, don't. At that age, they are still supposed to be getting live food. And one of the employees informed me that if they have it in the store, i.e. frozen brine, i.e. frozen bloodworms, that everything in their store is capable of eating what they sell and that they can use it. So I became very angry, because all this tells me is that Petco has the ability to thaw out some bloodworms, crush them up a little bit, and feed them to their betta fry. And they choose to put pellets into the water to do nothing but pollute it. Because as that food breaks down, it pollutes the water. It makes it toxic. They don't change the water. They don't feed daily. They feed, I think somebody told me 2 to 3 times a week. And they're not giving them living food that they can actually benefit out of. They're giving them food that they can't eat. They're giving them food that they can't process. They're giving them food in cold water that will constipate them and give them swim bladder. They are sentencing these animals to death. Now, you guys hear the chaos in my life. I don't have it easy. I have 2 children. I also babysit. I also help out with Tammy and her family, her 2 kids, my father who is disabled. I have a husband myself. I also help out my mom. I help out anybody I know. And I have more than 1,400 fish that I take care of. Tammy has a spawn of more than 300 fry at her house. She also has 9 bettas, adult bettas at her house. She also has guppies at her house. She also has an angelfish at her house. I have 19 adult bettas that I take care of. I have 2 adult guppies and 1 Endler guppy and multiple Endler and guppy fry. I have a tank full of, as you are very well aware,